Many hellos. You're tuned in to the Rewind Guys podcast, the show where we watch, discuss, and rate old movies, new movies, movies that defined our childhoods, and others we've never seen or even heard of before. This week, we're going to the 𝗠𝗢𝗩𝗜𝗘 and hitting the milk hard because we're talking about Foodfight. So put your feet up, take a load off, and don't forget the popcorn because the show is about to begin.
Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, three very sane spectators.
Welcome back to the Rewind Guys podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Andrews, joined by Mike Andrus.
What's up?
Russell Andrews.
Welcome to Walmart.
And Isiah Page.
Welcome to the 𝗠𝗢𝗩𝗜𝗘.
This week, we're talking about the movie Foodfight. This is a computer-animated adventure comedy released May 3rd of 2012. Has a runtime of 1 hour and 31 minutes, rated PG, and had a budget of apparently around $65 million and made a whopping $73,706 in the box office. Had to put that 6 in there. I want to give as much, as much credit as this movie can possibly get. This movie stars Charlie Sheen as Dex Dogtective.
Oh, this is just great.
Hilary Duff as Sunshine Goodness.
Brand X took my essence.
Eva Longoria as Lady X.
Don't you recognize me, Dogtective? Sunshine's old neighbor?
And Wayne Brady as Daredevil Dan.
Sunshine's gone, bro. We gotta accept it.
This movie was directed by Lawrence Kasanov. Isiah picked this movie to spite me, and in your face, I enjoyed this movie in a very bizarre way.
I did. I feel like, Isiah, you were like, I'm going to pick this movie to mess with Patrick, but deep down in your heart, you were like,
I need to see this movie.
I love this movie.
I need a reason to see it.
I've actually watched it 50 times, but I don't want anybody to know.
Yeah. And I will say he picked this because
No shame.
I've known of this movie for quite a while now, and I never wanted to see this movie. I mean, I would have rather have died than see this.
It's kind of been a running joke since we started recording.
Yes.
We're going to do Foodfight.
I was oddly surprised by how much I liked this movie. Let's start with the star power this movie had.
Yeah.
It had a lot of big names, and honestly,
Almost every character is a big name. Like,
it all kind of sucked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, okay, look.
The acting was
man.
subpar.
Charlie Sheen did put forth very minimal efforts, I think, in voice acting. Hilary Duff was just Hilary Duff. She always just sounds like Hilary Duff. And furthermore, she was only in the movie for like 2 minutes in the beginning, 2 minutes at the end, and that's it.
spoilers.
And Christopher Lloyd's the same way. Christopher Lloyd was Christopher Lloyd and was only in it a very tiny bit.
I thought his voice acting was great, though.
And then,
I thought he did great.
And then, I don't know
he
if
was
you guys...
one of the few that I thought did a good job.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Christopher Lloyd, he's just good at character acting in general.
He's just good and bad, probably.
And then, I don't know if you guys caught this, everybody's favorite, Larry Miller.
Yes, he was my favorite character in this.
He was good.
Who did he do?
He did Vlad 𝗠𝗢𝗩𝗘, the Bat Guy.
Oh, I love the best. But you know what I thought was weird though? Is like you could hear the quality difference.
Yes.
It was like he recorded like in a home studio or something, you know, and sent in his stuff. Because like whenever he was speaking, it was like muffled or something. There was like this weird quality just to his audio.
Really?
I felt like there was differences in like almost every person.
Yeah, that's probably true. But it was really noticeable in his.
It was noticeable. Like,
I don't know if I paid attention to like the details.
I didn't get that big into details.
I honestly
were there details?
No,
no,
it was terrible through the whole movie.
Yeah, and I think
shockingly bad.
And that's probably why I didn't notice. I mean, everything in this movie is a shit show that you just at some point you don't care. You just take everything for what it's worth. Period. Yeah.
And it wasn't worth a lot. $60 million.
Yes.
No, that $63 million went to getting enough coke to get Charlie Sheen to do this.
$73,000.
Oh man. Okay.
But some idiot put $60 million into it.
Yeah.
So I have to say,
idiot is who produced it? Who was the guy who put the money in?
Well, I don't remember both. Actually, there's a lot of people toward the end of this because it was
started
ridiculous.
Like, let's just put some money in just to finish
but
it.
Lawrence Kasanov, I hope I said that right before, but it's Lawrence Kasanov. He and this other guy, I should have wrote his name down, but him and this other guy came up with the concept, wrote the story, and put forth the budget for this movie. And then shit hit the fan, other people got involved, and it was just a nightmare of a production.
It was too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yes.
Except all of the cooks had no arms and also no culinary experience outside of TV dinner making.
It was crazy, but like, am I wrong to say that that's kind of what gives it its bizarre charm?
It is absolutely weird, and I think the reason is because if anybody else at any other studio said, I want to spend $60 million and this is what I want to make, they would say no.
Yeah.
They were like, they say, I can do it in 5.
But since these guys ran the company and they were like, I'm not going to say no to myself, I'm going to put $60 million into this.
Yeah.
You get this bizarre, I don't know what happened.
It's also weird because they put star power into a genre that star power doesn't matter in.
It really doesn't.
But, you know, I was really disappointed in Hilary Duff because when I was a teenager, Hilary Duff was the love of my life. She didn't know it. She didn't know she was my girlfriend. But I was disappointed that she was in this movie, and I was like, Hillary, why are you doing this?
But it's a shame because you're right. They got all this star power, and none of it shines, man. None of it shines. They all fall flat, and then the ones who sound okay just sound like themselves, which
it does
I
sound
guess.
like a lot of them were. Yeah.
See, when it comes to like animated shit, the only time star power actually matters is if you're watching something and then you watch something later. It's like, hey, is that the same voice actor from that's in this? Otherwise, no one gives a fuck.
I mean, I guess the production started in 1999. I guess the only one who may have drawn some sort of attention to children would have been Hilary Duff.
Hold up.
Yes, 99. And it came out 2012. And I just found out from Russell that it was supposed to be released in 2002.
The fuck?
Well, it might have been 2003. I'm not sure. Because it was 2000.
Here goes Mike on his phone.
We'll get into that later.
Wait, hold up. Let me figure this out.
Well, no, I'm actually just curious about another thing. Because this movie looked terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking of 90s Disney movies and stuff. Like, animated movies didn't look this bad back then.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, because Toy Story came out in 95.
That is 13 years to put out a fucking movie.
Well, there's some
No.
history behind.
That, first of all, 13 years, though.
I feel like Toy Story is like the high end. Like there was other animated movies that weren't nearly as good as that, but they weren't a dumpster fire like this.
But here, hold on.
No,
13 years is a stretch on the long side. Don't get me wrong, but there are animated movies that look good, by the way, that do take about 10 years. That's not uncommon.
Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly.
That looked good.
But,
looked great.
Well, yeah, but this fell on a lot of hard times, and after the first, I think, couple years of production, somebody stole the hard drives. And took all the work.
Yeah, they were supposed to release them in 2003, 2002. Somebody stole all of their stuff.
And sabotage or shit is what happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably
so what you're
Pixar.
telling me is this would have been like the greatest animated movie of all time.
Well, I don't know about that.
It would have been. Definitely. Obviously, look
100%,
at it.
yes.
If they had just spruced up the animation a little bit, that's all it needed.
You can
that's
find,
all it needed.
Russell was the one who pointed out to me that you can find the trailer to the original animation before it was all stolen and went to shit, and it does look a lot better. Years went by, other people jumped on board, and then the movie itself went up for auction because they just couldn't do it anymore, and it was picked up by Fire's fraud insurance company. An insurance company bought it for $2.5 million, give or take, and they said get it done as fast and cheap as possible. That's all they cared about. And then
this explains so much.
And the thing is, like, obviously, we're just kind of like completely brushing over all this, but the history of this movie is insane.
Yeah, if you dive into it, there was nothing but problems and delays and setbacks and errors.
Because you learn more about this than I did. But the production company or the animation company that started this movie came out the same time as Pixar. And was this huge $1 million company that made quality shit.
What else?
Yeah, they just didn't make movies. They worked with like some of the Lego movies and stuff, and then they did like those 3D rides, you know? Like 3D roller coaster type rides. Like I guess they had some in like Las Vegas and stuff, like these $1 million rides. They did the animation for them. So they did really good. And then somebody had the idea, let's make our first movie on our own. And so that was their first try.
Yeah.
They'd never made a movie before.
And they didn't want to hire a director because I guess the guy, one of the main investors, one that came up with the concept of the story.
Like the CEO or president of the company or something.
Just decided to take the reins, and he had no idea what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, he was like, I'll direct the movie. I've never directed a movie before, but I'll do it.
But that being said, none of us have ever directed a movie, and I feel like there are just some things you would realize, no, that shouldn't be there, or maybe we should do this a little differently.
Are you kidding? I thought this was great.
Oh man, this movie. Okay, I
literally zero flaws.
Okay. Before we start the movie, I just want to throw this last bit out there, and then we'll just jump in to what this is. This is going to be a train wreck. This is going to be about as bad as the actual movie itself, guys. So bear with us. But I think the thing that makes this movie so off the wall, like bizarre, is that you have a children's movie with blatant adult jokes.
It's
not even like slightly hidden at all.
I was actually thinking that is almost all the jokes are innuendo.
Yes.
And none of the only jokes meant for kids are like fart jokes.
Yes. Yeah. Seriously.
There's like 4 or 5 actual jokes meant for kids in this entire movie. It's like the reverse of a normal kids movie where there's like 4 or 5 jokes meant for the adults. They just flip the formula.
It is not at all unusual for kids' movies to throw some jokes in for the adults in the background, because who's taking their kids to see these movies but the parents? So they try to appeal to everybody, and then they really want to sell the movie. The thing is that it's done in usually a clever way, a witty way, something where like kids really, even if they thought about it, probably not being familiar with these situations, just would not pick it up.
Right.
This shit is so in your face.
Oh yeah,
it is so, and it's man, it's
and it's one after another.
Yes,
it's not like they throw one out there and it's like, wow, that was kind of risky, but it's kind of funny. They threw one little curveball in there. I'll let that slide.
Yeah,
but like when it opens up and the squirrel guy's talking about giving the girl like, oh, just wait till you get my chocolate frosting on your face or whatever. Like, whoa,
There's always he's flying by.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what can we do here?
Nothing. We're the soul of our products. Without us, they're gone. Real fast. These Ikes didn't expire in a rumble. Somebody just wants it to look that way.
Are you saying what I think she's saying?
Rigor Moldus has set in. Looks like all these poor Ikes were rubbed out.
Yo, but why? How? Who?
Dan.
Oh, goodness gracious, Grapple.
He said he was going to get back at the salt.
Dan would never do anything like this.
We have to find him before the rest of the salts do.
And you better start styling, Harry.
Right. What? Me? I can't. Oh, you have to help me, Dex, before I go bald.
We open up with this really horrible late 90s consumer PC animation. This is awful.
Like late PS1, early PS2 cutscene graphics.
Yes. And we see this really generic supermarket called Marketropolis. So
I was
corny.
so confused by this at first because the animation was really bad. Like they show it shutting down, like the store is closing, lights are going out, and then the lights come on. And I get what they were trying to say was like, oh, look it, the supermarket can be kind of looked at through a child's eyes as being like this city of all these characters and all this nightlife and everything.
Yeah.
But like it was like the lights went out and then all of a sudden we're outside somewhere and there's planes and stuff and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
For like a few seconds.
The transition was terrible.
I thought it shifted to outside, and then it's like I was like, "Oh wait, this shit's supposed to be inside the supermarket."
It took me so long to figure out what the hell was going on.
They did so much without taking anything else into consideration because I thought the same thing.
They also were referring, like I guess, because we'll probably call them this, but they were referring to them as Ikes.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
I don't know. I tried to look it up. I didn't find anything.
Icons. As in their brands.
The icon. Well, if you're gonna make up a nickname for something, kind of try to find a way to explain it.
They didn't explain it at all. They just started saying it's like, 500 Ikes disappeared overnight.
They just threw terms out there, but you didn't know what the fuck they meant.
Yeah, because it wasn't made up.
So you get
and it's
lost
supposed to
in
be for
translation.
kids.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until like 20 minutes later that they actually said icons. I'm like,
but then
the brands. I'm like,
and I still didn't get it. So thank you for explaining.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was lost.
There was a lot of shit like that where it's like, I either had to go back or I just had to guess.
I was not going back.
And here's the thing, even this Brand X city or part of the city, apparently I learned later on, is located in the sewer. I don't know why they have a sewer area. That doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter.
You've never went down the sewer aisle?
So
Walmart is the sewer aisle.
And yeah, so
welcome to Walmart, bitch.
As you said, the supermarket turns into the city, which I guess you get all the mascots and icons of all these brands and whatnot. They all come to life. It's a very Toy Story situation. This whole movie,
was the movie.
We're not gonna. There's no way we're gonna touch on everything. We will talk about this forever. But we open up. We're introduced to all these things, and
there was a lot of
there's a lot of shit going on.
There's not that much. There's a lot of like recognizable brands, which I think
kind of.
Yeah,
like Mr. Clean is in there very clearly as Mr. Clean.
Oh no, yes.
The tuna fish guy.
But here's the thing, Charlie Tuna, he's in there. Miss Butterworth, the California Raisins. But it's weird because
my God, yes.
they don't. They
I have
really,
a comment to make on that
if
later.
If you pay attention, they actually don't have as many products as you think they do.
No,
like there was more like in the original trailer that we talked about.
Yes,
Chester Cheetah.
Yeah, I wish you would have stayed in there.
But it's probably because they lost the rights. Like,
yes.
I thought they put all their money. This is actually what I thought. I thought they put all their money into acting, but it probably went more into paying the brands to use their
likeness.
Which is a shame because usually the brands are the ones trying to pay you to be in your movie.
Product placement.
And I really honestly thought that's why this movie had such a high budget. I thought they all invested, but I swear there's, looking back, I think 5, 6 actual icons, maybe,
because a lot of the icons and like mascots and stuff were just kind of rip-offs.
Yeah,
it's like well, we couldn't get them to agree, so we'll just make a knockoff, generic version, Brand X version of this stuff.
So I think when
they couldn't get Count Chocula, so they got what the hell did they call him?
It was Vlad Kokul.
I don't know, gay bat guy.
Yeah, gay bat guy. He was the best character.
But again, his character was a little bit inappropriate because all he was trying to do was have sex with every other male character constantly.
That was made of chocolate.
Constantly.
Yep. Oh man.
As long as they were made of chocolate.
I have to say,
once you go chocolate, you never go white chocolate. I don't fucking know what I'm saying.
Apparently.
Unless they change this later on during production, I'm actually surprised that a late 90s movie put a gay character in there.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
to be fair, they put him as like the aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very flamboyant Liberace type of character, and he wasn't like necessarily openly gay.
Right.
I mean, it's. I'm just saying.
You didn't say it, but it was there.
Yeah, it was blatantly there, like everything else. But I was really surprised that something in the late 90s actually had a character like that. I thought that was kind of interesting, like the rest of this movie.
I was kind of surprised that any of these characters existed.
Yes.
So,
oh my God.
Wow.
So, all right, man, it's so hard to get into this. We're kind of seeing a lot of the main characters and actual icons, and this weird frog guy pops up out of the sewer. And, okay, he farts on Mr. Clean, and then when the manhole cover lands it lands back on the frog, it squeezes shit out on Mr. Clean. And then I think after this weird quick opening, we see Dex Dogtective, the main character, on top of this hot air balloon, and he's fighting these naked hamsters.
Yeah, 4 naked hamsters.
Was it 4?
Yeah, there's 4.
Oh, okay. He's fighting the 4 naked hamsters to save these.
And a big rat, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what.
And he's saving baby hamsters or something. Kitten.
Dude,
they were kittens?
Yeah, I thought it was cats.
Oh my God, I don't know either. But here's the thing, like apparently
hard to follow.
Really
hard to follow for me.
I'm thinking in their world, gravity doesn't work the same.
Dude, it was supposed to be like crazy cartoon world, man.
It was supposed to be a
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
No, okay, because
I was about to say, if you said no, I was going to throw something at you.
He's
Everybody's
falling.
seen Looney Tunes.
He uses his whip to sling down to safety.
Well, no, hold on. He throws something to distract these kung fu naked hamsters. Oh, he throws cheese.
Oh, yeah, because like they don't live in a supermarket.
Yeah, they're also like gravity was kind of weird because like they run across the air, which I get that. It happens in cartoons all the time. And then there's the exaggerated, oh, wait, we're supposed to be falling.
They scramble and fight each other to try and get back and fall.
But this went on like twice as long as it normally does in a cartoon. Like they're scrambling and they're trying to get back to the balloon and they're still not falling and not falling and not falling and not falling. And finally they fall.
No movement in this cartoon is fluent at all.
Not a damn bit.
This is so weird. Like the whole it's
all fucking wonky and weird.
It's very jarring and it moves different in different times. And I can only imagine
It's like somehow they managed to put people on wires, and like if you imagine like a cheesy action movie where everyone's moving, like if they're in the air, they're moving on wires.
And it's not even like people on wires in a movie. It's like people on wires like in a stage play where they just kind of glide. It's just it's so strange. And so then we see the character Daredevil Dan, who is a womanizing piece of shit. This guy is an awful character for children to see.
And they were like, hey, you know what? He is a chocolate squirrel, so let's make him stereotypical African-American dude, and then we'll also get a black guy to voice him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Wayne
like,
Brady.
okay,
Why not?
this is just getting just worse.
Was
and
it
worse.
Wayne?
It sure was. Okay, I'm going off the cuff here. Daredevil Dan says something to him about, I can think it was Dirty Dan.
No, I'm Dirty Dan.
So
No, I'm Dirty Dan.
Daredevil.
Poor Patrick.
Is this a SpongeBob movie?
No.
Oh, can we watch a SpongeBob movie?
We probably should.
I have never seen
We
the new one.
should.
Really?
I've never seen any of them.
They're good.
That's how bad this food fight is that we're now just talking about SpongeBob movies.
It's so
instead.
easy to okay.
I'm scared out of my mind, Dan. Tonight's the night.
Nah, no worries. You can do it as long as you got me to help you. Did I mention me?
What do you think?
Whoa! What the? You could 4 carrots. What did you do? Rob the food bank?
Yeah, but do you think she'll like it? What if she doesn't like it?
Relax, bro. We're talking about sunshine goodness. You could give her a Cracker Jack ring and she'd still say yes.
Everything's got to be just perfect tonight. Now, you sure you know what to do?
Who you think you're talking to? Come on. I'm your best friend, Daredevil Dan. The most stunt-flying, death-defying, chocolate
Dan.
Ike.
One more thing. Will you be my best man?
Here's the thing, and I think it's because of the shitty animation and the crappy movements. The visual jokes do not land in this at all.
To be fair, most of the visual jokes are just kind of like half-assed farts.
Yeah, and they honestly, they literally 100% are. And I don't like when he's talking about how, like, he's telling Dan that he's going to pop the question to Sunshine Goodness, and he shows the 4-carat ring, and it's literally 4 carrot butts on this ring.
You know, for a kids movie though, you gotta remember what it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
it
no,
was
I know.
supposed to be a kids movie.
I mean, as far as like the joke, I kind of liked that a little bit. Like,
yeah, that was a joke I thought was acceptable for the kind of movie that it was supposed to be.
Yes, okay, true.
I'm behind that one.
I think I'm getting this way wrong, and I'm surprised no one has corrected me here.
Nobody corrected the production company that made the movie.
That's so true. He actually meets up with Sunshine Goodness first, and it's when Dirty Dan. God,
it doesn't matter.
It's when Daredevil Dan crashes his plane that she disappears. So he doesn't.
He's drawing a picture in the sky.
Yeah, because they're having a nice dinner, and you know he's about to pop the question, and there's that weird like moose guy who's trying to like make it like really romantic.
Yep.
And then he's gonna do that. What is that called when you make the smoke?
Skywriting?
Skywriting, yeah. And then he does loop crash, and she's like, well, I'm gonna go check on him. I'll be right back. And he's like, God damn it, I was hoping to get laid tonight. Whatever.
If you do the right thing, you can't go wrong.
And when he meets up with her before all this, there is like upskirt shot after upskirt after upskirt. They're hugging and stuff, and it's like vagina, 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 vagina this angle,
Also,
vagina this angle.
We missed it because it's a little after he, pops the hot air balloon. His catchphrase, "The secret's within," or something like that.
The secret's inside.
The secret's inside.
What's your secret? The secret's inside.
Now,
that's it.
Knowing that he was supposed to be a cereal at this point, I get it. The secret's inside. It's supposed to be a toy or some shit inside.
Like surprise inside.
The whole time, every time he'd fucking say his catchphrase, I'm like, I just got angry.
That's so funny.
I know.
Holy
I'm like, what the?
It makes sense now because there are so many lines. The dialogue is atrocious in this movie, but there are so many times when they were saying stuff. I'm like, what does that even mean? And I didn't understand it. And so we can't even get past the first 5 minutes. we cannot get past the first 5 minutes. And so okay.
That's like this could be this whole like conversation,
and that's fine. That's fine. If we run out of time and we only make it 20 minutes,
part 2.
This is what this movie does to
If we
us.
only make it 20 minutes in, we'll have made it as far as everyone else has ever seen it.
It's true. I have dumbed myself down so much more. Okay, here.
You're
okay.
welcome. But yet you enjoyed this.
In a bizarre way, yes. I won't deny it. I could not, I wasn't bored. I couldn't take my eyes off this movie. I was enthralled with this movie.
You ever accidentally end up on a website where it shows someone committing suicide? It's like a snuff. It's like a snuff thing, and you're like, "Oh, this is terrible."
I was going to joke and say dying, and then you actually went with dying.
No, there's another video of this chick falling off of a building. I shouldn't click this. Oh, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Why am I watching this?
That is this movie.
10 hours later, I hate myself.
Not that it hasn't been already, but let's run this completely off the rails. Okay, let's do this. Let's try and quickly go over what the movie's about, and then we'll just dump everything on this. We'll just dump everything out onto the table that we have about this movie.
I'll give you a quick, well, it's not going to be a quick synopsis.
You have 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, that is...
Okay, all right, no. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Okay. For what I understand, this movie's about fucking supermarket. These brand icons come to life at night. The store becomes a fucking city.
Yes.
So during the night, it's a city. During the day, it's just a store. New brand gets introduced to the fucking store called Brand X and starts pretty much taking over. Anything it deems, bad, crap, garbage, gets recalled.
Yeah.
And they replace it with their brand of the same thing.
Another Brand X of the same damn thing. That's basically the whole movie. It's movie was about, and it's about the icons that are there trying to stop them. That's basically the movie.
Except Brand X is also Nazis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
With the spiked helmets and the weird goose step that the Nazis did.
Yeah.
And they throw their hands up. Now they throw up both hands.
Yep.
In an X shape, except they frequently show them marching from the side. And when you put both of your hands up from the side, you can only see one hand. Which makes you look like you're just hailing Hitler down the fucking store in a kid's movie. So you can imagine kids going down the store later after watching this movie, hailing Hitler like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah. And
Good thing only 5,000 people saw it.
And that's exactly what happened. I kept questioning how a movie with such a high budget could only make so little. But I guarantee the people that seen this shit were like, no, don't take your kids to see this. This is awful. This is a bad movie.
Knowing that we're going to jump around.
The jokes aren't even entertaining for kids.
They fall flat.
And I think
even for me, they fell horribly flat. I'm like, I'm like, oh, there's some adult jokes, but I'm just like, those are really bad adult jokes that I can't even laugh.
And I think that it's only slightly entertaining to me and possibly other adults because in the back of your mind this is supposed to be a kids movie.
So where we were though, after she disappears, was really jarring because it cuts to him in his office. They have told you nothing, and they do this whole scene, and then all of a sudden in the middle of the scene, they just drop a bomb on you that's 6 months later.
Even before we get there, though, when she goes to find Dan, and then apparently hours pass, because now Dex is talking to Dan, and he's like, oh, you haven't seen her? And he's like, and I think he says, it's been hours. I thought that was weird, because why are you still, and if it has been hours, why are you still at the table waiting for her? That's a little weird, right? And Dan, the person she was looking for, was with him. None of it makes sense. Okay,
no, Dan covered it up because he's like, well, you know how she is. She's probably playing with those other Ikes, like the little kids ones that she was playing with.
Yeah.
She's probably just having a great time. She gets distracted. She's an airhead, I guess. To put it like that.
6 months goes by, and he's a milkaholic.
Milkaholic runs the Copa Banana, Patrick.
Does he run it?
It's his bar.
Shit, I didn't know that. Good for him.
Apparently he's moving up in the world.
And this because is this when they introduced the California raisins?
Yes, because they're singing.
Was my favorite part in the movie. This is where I
thought they
laughed
were great.
out loud. I was laughing hysterically to myself because they had the California raisins singing "Heard It Through the Grapevine," and I thought that was the funniest pun. They're singing "Heard It Through the Grapevine."
Wait, hold on here for a second.
Oh my god!
I'm not saying that's not great, but aren't they known for that?
Are they?
I think they are.
I don't know anything
because
about
the California Raisins sang songs back in the 80s, I think.
I wasn't around in the 80s.
I knew the
California Raisins, but okay, if they came up with that, Like if the movie people came up with that, that's hilarious.
I don't know if
that's just
necessarily-
what they're known for, and they just included that. Then it's a little bit less funny.
Obviously,
But I
the
thought it was
California
hilarious.
Raisins did not make the song, but they sang that, and I think a couple other songs or something for. I'm assuming they're gimmicks for raisins because they're a product brand, I guess, or mascot or whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so and
they
here's
sing that.
One of their songs from like where they're back in the day commercials.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not funny.
And what about me? You hanging me out to dry?
I'm not sure what to do with you.
Come on, baby. Dance your man. Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
What can I say? Chicks dig chocolate.
Chicks think chocolate. I told you. I knew it.
I do not like the forceful "sorry, Charlie" joke. Okay, let me paint the picture here. Lady X comes in. It shows her feet, by the way, in a very awkward looking position.
She looked broken as hell.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. She straightens her feet out. She's standing. No one around her straightens her feet out on the floor. You see it. Camera sees it, and it pans up to her. And then all of a sudden, I think it shows Charlie Tuna, who's like in pain because she's standing on his tail. And she never moved. And she goes, "Sorry, Charlie." And I think they did that.
No, they show her step off.
Yeah, she stepped off.
No, she stepped off. But when that scene came in, and I will put money on this. When that scene came in, she was standing, showed her feet on the floor, pans up. Then it does show she's standing on his tail, and she steps off, and she says, "Sorry, Charlie." He was not there.
Oh,
and it's
that's what
not
you're
even
saying.
for a good joke.
Okay.
There's a particular scene at the end where two people walk away holding hands, but one's taller than the other, so the hands are just held in the center, but they don't reach each other.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Yeah, there was a scene.
did.
I can't remember where it was. It wasn't like a memorable scene, just something going on, whatever. But like this outline, this weird white outline appeared around a couple characters for like a half a second and then kind of flickered and then went away.
Okay, we
Like,
also
just-
talk about the
just some
dance floor,
glitches.
where it's just literally copy and paste of people doing the
Yeah,
same
did you
weird
see
dance.
that weird ass purple guy in all the different angles dancing? It was
yeah,
weird.
During the big battle scene where they're throwing
It's like-
stuff off of the roof, and it's just like the characters are doing hand motions like they're throwing.
Yeah.
And then like food is just magically appearing over their head and being thrown.
Yeah.
Boop, bloop, 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 bloop. What's going on?
It's
just poof.
And then they all splat in the same effect with different colors. And I think this had to do with the whole rushing and cheaply as possible part of it. Is
Trying
all
to finally
I can
get it out.
Yeah, and just get it done. But here, going back to the 𝗠𝗢𝗩𝗜𝗘, which, oh my God, this drives me nuts.
I'm glad you can actually say it properly.
I'm practicing, man. I'm
proud of you.
struggling. I am struggling.
I'm proud of you.
But here's the thing, so I'm guessing the supermarket is full of all these, mascots, whatever. When they show the 𝗠𝗢𝗩𝗜𝗘 from an aerial view, it looks like it is surrounded by thousands of people.
Yeah, he even makes a joke like, I remember how he runs in. Oh, the penguin's getting basically mugged in the back, and he's like, "You're on the list, bitch," and just lets him in. And it's like the moose is like, "He's got a heart of gold."
Where did all these people come
Moose
from?
is a pretty badass character.
And like, it's so weird because you get all these crazy cartoon mascot people, but then like there's humans in there, which actually, here's the thing. The humans in their world look more like humans than the humans in the human world, which are nightmarish. Oh my God. Creepy as shit.
Yeah, the fucking.
And I also,
I forgot when I did like that though. How the kid in the cart, like they landed in the lap, and the mom's like, "No, we can't get this." Like the kid that grabbed it. I kind of like that, but like it's just a weird little side note.
Horrible though.
And you know, if we're gonna be on the scene for a second, how about, because this is later in the movie, but I'm just running with all the shenanigans right now. When Dex Dogtective comes to save the squirrel on a magical flying soda bottle. What the shit?
Yeah, okay, so we
pretty sweet, dude. I like that.
What made it better was
I'm mad about that. I'm pissed because he comes flying in on this shit
and stops in front
and
of the cart.
the cap is still on.
Yeah.
And when he picks his ass up, the cap gets knocked off and he takes off again. It's like, how the fuck were you flying in the first place?
Yeah. It makes no sense.
I was actually mad
Pop
about
bottles
that.
explode. Toy Story reference there. I mean, like, all right.
Oh
come
man,
on.
but okay, so
weird.
it doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. And we're gonna rewind because we are all over the place.
This is just gonna be all over the place.
It
There's
is.
no making sense for this one.
It's not
I
going
mean,
to happen.
the movie isn't much different, so it's like.
But I like when he first meets, let's jump forward a little bit here. He's still having a hard time. Brand X shows up because Mr. Clipboard shows up during the day.
Yes.
And he does his weird wiggle walk.
Yes.
Like
That's an
he's
uncomfortable
got
walk,
some
too.
kind of like Parkinson's or something, you know. I don't know what's wrong with him. He should have crutches. Something's wrong with
Dude
this guy.
can't
Your
reverse
store's
his car
been
either.
chosen for Brand X.
So he's like, we'll make room for Brand X. Stomps on the potato chip bag, which kind of was sad because like I may
Never
or
got
may
bullet
not
in
be
her tasted.
slightly high watching this movie, and I'm thinking I wish I had potato chips right now. And that was sad. Brought a tear to my eye. They move in Brand X, and then Brand X, she meets Dex
I
Dogtective.
wish I was high watching.
And she's like they're doing this weird like tango thing where she's like got her leg.
Yes.
She got her ankle up at his neck. Like,
Yes.
And like their crotches are like together in this stance, and she's got like these
And
like this little schoolgirl outfit on.
Yes.
And I'm like,
oh,
this is really inappropriate for kids, but this is perfect for me.
oh my God. Yeah, it was.
Well, what's funny is every scene with the Lady X's, we're calling her, in it was super, like, it was just every line innuendo back and forth.
Yes.
Literally,
Yes.
That's all it was.
I wish I would have written
couldn't
down
remember-
what they were saying, because it was just like, basically, I want a dog to have sex with me. Every single time.
Yeah.
There is this tango scene, and she lifts her one leg up, and it goes above
It goes
her
all
head.
it goes all the way up.
It really
Oh,
does.
yeah.
And here's the thing. Okay, I want to see what you guys took away from the scene, because I'm assuming Dex was getting weak in the knees.
Yeah.
But it did not look like he was getting weak in the knees. His strength was growing somewhere else. Mm-hmm. It looked really weird to me. That's just me. My opinion. Maybe I'm wishful thinking. I don't know. I guess maybe I was hoping the scene went somewhere else.
And he just in his pants.
It was all.
Yep.
It is so weird. How does this scene end? How did we get out of here?
Happy ending, I think.
I'm pretty sure Dex is just like, I literally got to get the fuck out of here. He just leaves.
He
he just nopes out.
Yeah, he just nopes out.
Nopes the fuck out of there. Like, nope.
I
done.
remember him noping out of one of them. I don't remember which scene. Because there's like, this happens like 3 times.
Yeah.
I think he noped out of his apartment when she showed up.
And oh no. Oh. She knew. She leaves with Daredevil Dan.
Yeah,
Because
that's right.
as she's
that's when
leaving,
he's like, oh, I can't wait to give you my chocolate frosting. Isn't that the scene?
I think it might be. Yeah, because there is a scene where he's like, I want to give you my chocolate frosting. I can't wait to. And then she looks back at Dex, and oh my God, she goes, chicks love chocolate, or something like that.
Yeah. Dig the chocolate.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think she's saying that chicks dig the BBC, and I'm not talking about the British Broadcasting Channel. She is just all about some large lovin'. It was so awkward.
She got a little bit of Dirty Dan.
Yeah, it was so weird. So the scene ends, and I just want to touch on a couple things I just want to bring up. And if you guys want to touch on anything,
Come here, Mike.
We're throwing it. Let's just throw it all out there.
Touch on you guys.
Okay, there's a scene I want to throw out there that makes no flippin' sense to
This
me.
movie made sense.
So in the end, I'm going all the way to the end. We can come back. Go all the way to the end. There's this master plan where the Weasel guy is going to go underground to cut a
He swims
wire.
through shit.
Huh?
He swims
Oh yeah.
through shit.
He's going to see. Yeah. He's going through the sewage. He's going to cut a wire that somehow creates an electrical storm.
I was confused by that too.
And so
well, I kind of get this a little bit here, because they're trying to say that the stuff that's happening in the actual real physical world, in the real world,
right,
kind of comes to life in kind of a cartoony way at night. So if he cuts the wires to the store,
okay,
it's going to cause an electrical storm. You know what I mean?
No.
Kind of like the aisles aren't really buildings, but in cartoon land, they're buildings.
Well, right, but here,
so he's cutting the wire, which is just cutting the wire, but in their cartoon world, that becomes this electrical storm.
Hey, wait, where are you taking me?
From this day forward, you must prove you are desirable. Soon we will become the model of excellence, until the entire world is just like us. One store, one X. One store, one X. One world, one X. One world, one X. One store, one X.
There's this scene toward the end. Okay, Lady X, she just got done like giving this huge speech or whatever
Hitler,
to like
basically.
female
Hitler.
Female Hitler
on the tower, like
very much.
She's talking to the troops, sending them all out there. It goes back to her, and this is when she makes some witty quip or comment about Dex, and she's standing on top of this like skyscraper. Oh, love this, man! So artistic and tasteful. The drones are going by, and she lifts her leg up and puts it on like the side of it, and she pelvic thrusts her leathery vagina into the frame. I'm like, whoa!
And then the shot shows them flying by from underneath her leg, like in between her legs.
It's so tastefully framed, and I'm just like, that is a weird shot.
She got bugs.
Oh man, it took me off guard. I audibly said that, and I just started cracking up. That was the best part of the movie for me. So good.
Released just like crotch drones.
It's so good.
She just queefed him right out, man.
Oh man,
and I popped a boner.
Dude, this
you honor bugs. That's what it is.
This movie is giving people feels they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. And that's why parents didn't want their kids to see it.
Yeah, they were like, Timmy,
your mom didn't want you to
get out of here. I need some alone time with you.
Yeah. That's people started getting into dogs. Things got a little weird. It was a nightmare. So let's get into the ending here because
well, we missed the movie.
Yeah.
No, come on.
Okay. All right. Touch everything you guys want to right now.
Okay,
the battle scene. I want to talk about that.
Oh, okay. This was really. I had to unfortunately rewatch the battle scene because
the money shot.
A few minutes into the battle scene, it was so boring and lasted so long.
Yes,
and was so drawn out and slow.
And this is supposed to be the apex of the movie. It is food fight. This is what it's been building to, and it sucks.
And they also didn't yell food fight. They yelled food fight early in the movie.
Like, they had at the Couple Banana. They had a food fight.
Yeah, a couple times.
It's just when shit is the fan. That's just what they do.
And also, it was just weird how it was just like a bunch of like misfits come together, and it's very like America patriotism, blah 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 blah. And then the other guys were the Nazis, and it was just really weird because why? Why do you have to do this weird symbolism? Of the American troops versus the Nazi troops in an early 2000s movie for kids.
I just don't know how we arrived at the dialogue and movie that we did with 6 writers involved.
Yeah.
We had the 2 original guys that put all the funding in, and maybe that's the thing, they put so much in, it's like, hey, if we like it, it stays.
Out of 6 writers, you had 2 working brain cells that were not cooperating.
Yeah, and then you had 4 screenwriters working on this, apparently. And none of the dialogue is good.
Exactly.
None of the jokes are good. They don't really land.
In the battle scene, though, the only thing I liked out of the entire battle scene was the ketchup tanks.
You know what?
You know, actually...
That was actually good. I'm sitting there, it's like, technically you don't got to do that with a plastic bottle. But a glass bottle, yeah, you got to smack the shit out of it.
I'm just like your wife.
I will argue that.
I feel like we're going far here.
I will argue that a little bit. I didn't like. I thought the ketchup tanks were kind of goofy, but it's a kids movie, so it's passable. But I did like the creativity and design behind. At first, the like Cool Whip tanks, how like they're in like little things.
That's Ready Whip. Damn it.
Whatever, Cool Whip, Ready Whip. It's the aerosol.
I was annoyed they weren't facing the right way.
I was annoyed that they launched. I thought the thing was going to push the nozzle down and they were going to spray. Instead, they just blow up out of the back and take off.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're going to launch like that, they should have been upside down.
Yeah, it was weird. No. And so I liked it at first, and then when they use them, I'm like, well, that's just dumb. And this is like the main event of the whole movie, and it's long, it's drawn out, it's boring. It is literally the same shot of people throwing stuff.
Those one things that came out, I gotta say this. Were they shooting eggs or pickles? I'm pretty sure
they're pickles.
Okay.
Oh,
eggs or
no? It's weird.
Well, I'm actually something about eggs, but then also pickles.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I thought the same damn thing. I thought somebody said eggs, and I'm looking at these.
100%. Somebody said something about eggs.
Those are not eggs. There's no way.
Yeah, they said something about eggs to like fry their eggs or some shit, and all of a sudden you just watch pickles fly. I'm gonna say, well, that's supposed to be.
I think the fry their eggs was just supposed to be like a funny quip of like kill them.
It's like when they're at the Copa Banana He's like, you better lay out the potato juice or you'll get and he falls face first in the bar. He's chipped face. It's like supposed to be shit faced, but
it has horrible lines, horrible puns.
Like everything is just a pun.
And it never
just a bad.
Most of it doesn't make sense.
It didn't really amount to
anything.
Like, a hill of coffee.
A lot of the puns made sense. It's just basically what this movie felt like was just nothing but a bunch of fucking puns.
I
Puns
can
and quips.
respect that to an extent, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's weird, okay? Because like
it wasn't unenjoyable to watch. Honestly,
can't properly express this movie.
You can't.
No,
you just can't.
Or animation.
Because
I mean, you can.
Shit. I mean, okay.
That's what this was.
Anybody listening?
Hot, expensive garbage.
It is as bad as we're making it sound, but you have to see it. You just have to.
Do.
It's like something you need to experience, and then never again. Okay, so the only way I can describe my feelings about it is like it was somehow worse than what I thought, but also better.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know how that makes sense.
I went in with such low expectations that even as bad as it wasn't as bad as I expected.
Yeah. No. I'm actually agree with you on that. I'm like, this looks like shit. This is gonna probably be garbage. I'm just like, not that bad.
It was bizarrely entertaining.
No,
Honestly, it felt like
bad.
playing a really shitty PS2 game.
It was. It was. No, that's what I felt like. It was like, I don't know how to explain because they had a lot of those games back in the day that were like, oh, you play as like a toy soldier against other toys, or like a toy car in like the kid's bedroom or something, and it was kind of like a really bad video game. And so I guess I kind of felt some nostalgia about it.
Okay,
from that aspect. So everything that they were trying to do was worse than I thought it was going to be. But everything,
You're selling it.
Everything that it actually ended up being, which was not what they were trying, was just so unique and bizarre, and I've never seen anything like it. I'm not saying that's a good thing,
right?
But it was a very unique experience.
Well, wait, let me just grab Russell's opinion though. It was better than what I expected, but it was a lot worse than I expected. There you go.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Honestly, though, I as much as I'm laughing at it because it's silly when you hear it, but it's 100% true.
So I also have a question. The whole, I guess, plot of after the battle, because they apparently lost.
Yeah. Well, of course, the bad guys.
Their whole goal was like to sneak across the store because they retreated to the 𝗠𝗢𝗩𝗘.
Yeah.
They had to sneak across the store and send an email.
Send an email.
X
recalled.
Yeah, I guess.
To find out that the prunes were recalled and were good. Sunshine Raisins was recalled by Brand X.
Which I don't know how that works.
Can one brand recall a different brand?
No, I think the company, unless there's one company that makes multiple brands, recalls one of its own brands. You can't recall somebody.
So
you have to have a reason to recall something.
I'm gonna make a product called Doritos, and I'm gonna go recall Doritos and take their place.
I think it works that way.
And
great business model.
I know that brand X was like a rebranding of the previous thing that they were, which was an ugly fat woman.
Yes.
So she had a few lines after this was revealed that the human that ran Brand X was just her and a robot.
Yes. The clipboard dude was a robot.
That was Mr. Clipboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just, first of all, it's a little bit not great in a kid's movie to be like, oh, you're no longer the hot chick.
Yes.
Now you're fat and ugly, so we got to get rid of you.
And I
this
felt
is what happens
like,
when women wear shit tons of makeup and then you take it off. And you're just like, ah!
Priscilla? From Priscilla Pusley's Genetically Giant Prunes? But you were recalled. And butt ugly.
Quick trip to Brazil for a little plastic surgery. And then back for my revenge.
So you built yourself a human robot and recalled Sunshine, then you stole her essence to make your elixir for Brand X. Why?
All anyone ever wanted was that sweet Sunshine goodness. 2 months I sat on the shelf next to Little Miss Perfect. No one bought my beautifully genetically giant prunes.
But how did you get in and out of the store? You're an Ike.
Humans. When you look like this, you can get them to do anything. Size only counts for men.
Clever plan, puss. But Brand X is being recalled.
Brand X lady has a few lines that are really like concerning. She's like, it's like, oh, you used to be the prune lady, and she's like, what happened? She's like, hey, I went down to Brazil and had a few surgeries.
Yes,
yeah,
and it's like, okay, first off, that's kind of racist. Second, it's like, wow, which also doesn't make sense because she went down to Brazil to have surgeries.
Yeah,
they literally said this.
None of it makes sense.
And she goes. She's like, when you look like this, it doesn't matter. Size only matters for men.
Yeah.
She legitimately said that.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
There were a few other things. I mean, I should have wrote them down that I kind of thought the same thing. Like, this is just weird.
Those are just a few lines that I remember to give you an idea of what the jokes
Yeah, because she's like, she's like, when you look this good, you can do anything. And I'm just like, damn. Ultimately, Brand X, to let everybody know who's listening what happened, Lady X kidnapped Sunshine Goodness and stole her essence, ultimately the secret ingredient, and then rebranded their prunes with this essence to make them so much better, and they were trying to take everything over. Okay,
because she was nasty.
She apparently rebranded her prunes into detergent.
Well, I think, yeah,
highly
what?
addictive,
Holy crap,
but yet dangerous detergent.
I think.
Holy hell! How did I not even pick that up?
Yeah,
because when Brand X was originally brought into the store, it was as laundry detergent.
Yeah. And I assumed because they were prunes and Sunshine Goodness was raisins, I thought they took her secret ingredient for their prunes, but she was detergent.
She rebranded her ugly prunes as detergent, as sexy detergent, using raisins.
Weird, yes.
That is weird.
I think you nailed it.
I think that makes perfect sense.
For this movie, absolutely. And so there's a cat fight at the end between Sunshine
and she
Goodness.
punches her back ugly.
Dex Dogtective can't hit a girl.
Yeah, what? Hey, that's kind of cool. I'm on board.
It's just dumb because the whole reason is so that the Sunshine can come in and be like, but I can, and plop her in the face.
Okay, but again, let's just say that is completely sexist.
Oh, yeah.
A woman is beating a man in an attempt to murder him.
Yes.
But he is so bent on the sexist idea that a man cannot hit a woman. That seems sexist. That seems sexist.
They tried. They tried. You know, I don't know, but yeah. So Sunshine beats the plastic surgery off this lady and sends her back to Uglyville, I guess. And
if you're ugly, you don't count.
She was upset because she was always placed on the shelf next to Sunshine Raisins, so everybody bought raisins and not ugly ass genetically modified giant ass fucking prunes. Fuck that bitch.
And like she goes, all I wanted was you. It pauses. And world domination.
Yeah. And so this is the end. The plot, I guess, essentially is revealed in what's going on in all this.
They just kind of send her to slink away to get recalled.
Is that it?
Yeah, no, they were like, we're going to make sure you get recalled, Brand X.
Oh, okay.
And they go back to the weird IBM fairy.
Yeah.
You know that twinkly thing? Where
I like that thing.
Well, hey, IBM. Hello.
Yes. Love it.
Like, wow, man,
So
I need to get an
good.
IBM, dude.
Oh, man. Okay, so, and then it's the end.
Well, then he finally proposes to her.
Oh, yeah. Of
And
course.
another
Yeah.
weird thing.
4-carat ring.
And she's always like, oh, Dex, I just love how much you love my raisins.
Yeah.
And always feeding him raisins. And that's really weird. Another thing, this is a kids' movie. And if it was popular, kids would be like, I'm going to feed my dog raisins. Dogs get sick and die if they eat raisins or grapes. Don't feed your dog raisins. This was a terrible thing to teach children. Don't do it.
And you know, I actually
I knew that, but I didn't even think of that when I was watching the movie.
The whole movie, they're like, hey, feed the dog raisins.
Now, I didn't know the raisin thing, but I do know, even though milk won't kill a dog, it is bad for dogs. But I was accepting of that because it's like his liquor, so of course it's not going to be good for him. So I kind of like that. But yeah, the raisin thing I didn't know. But even as the credits roll, we get these little like cuts where
I watched like 2 or 3 of them and then I gave up.
I kind of brushed over them as they were going by, but they had enough of them.
I love the movie so much, I had to watch them.
I watched them all. Okay, so we kind of glossed over this joke because it's fucking stupid.
The whole movie.
The penguin I mentioned earlier was always saying, "I'm
cold.
So cold," or he's always talking.
Oh, this was weird.
Yes,
it was a recurring joke that recurred like 6 times. Apparently, him being cold is funny as hell.
Yeah, a penguin being cold.
That's right. I forgot about the happy ending.
He gets like a kiss and he goes, "I'm finally warm." And he thinks about it. He goes, "Nah, I'm still cold."
But no, I did forget the one thing that all the dead characters apparently were able to come back to life because of Dr. Nose's preservative or additive or something.
Yeah, that was weird because they gave the Nazis injected a lot of the food and stuff in the store with something that caused them to expire. So I'm assuming they got like all moldy.
They had a really
gross.
they had a dumb word. It was can you remember how they said it?
Nope, not at all.
Expiration, ejaculation, or something.
It was like it was as stupid as like deservative or something like that. It was a little
a deserve, yeah.
Oh.
But then it's like, let's sprinkle some bleach on you or something, and we're gonna resell this expired food.
Huh.
That's weird.
But I think they were just trying to make it like nobody actually died, kids, and everybody, and it was kind of
unless you're ugly.
It was it was a really bizarre ending, and again we move on to the weird cutscenes and the credits just so that we can make sure we get at least one more scene of Dirty Dan saying some more negative things to women.
Yeah, he's got 3 women with him. I don't remember what he said.
I don't remember.
And he's trying to get like a 4-way going.
Yeah,
I tuned him out almost every time he popped up in the movie.
You know,
you really did not like
do you think that any of the actors or voice actors knew what they were getting into just by the dialogue and the script?
Not a damn bit.
No.
I feel like they had to been like, this is shit. But
well, I mean,
get a
paycheck.
Yeah, I'm getting paid, so I don't care.
Yeah, and you could tell in their voice acting because these are real actors. These are well-known people.
Yeah.
But their voice acting in the movie, they could have got someone off the street.
Yes.
Because they were just kind of like, I'm Dex Dogtective.
Yes, he was the worst.
All right, let's go fight some
Sheen
crime.
Didn't even try. It was so bad.
And Hilary Duff just
fucks to give.
Yeah, well,
I'm a ditzy
yeah, but here's the thing: you got Hilary Duff, you got
Brady?
Christopher Lloyd,
Oh, no.
and then you also have even the Larry Miller. These guys all sound just like themselves, which is fine, and they're all of them are only in the movie a little bit here, a little bit there. That's it.
Yeah, I have to say the good voice acting, like I couldn't forget his name. Who did the clipboard guy?
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I thought his voice acting was good, but he was in there very minimal.
Yes.
Everybody who was in there a lot was just completely flat. No emotion.
A lot of the side characters that had random no-name voice actors, because I went and looked at a lot of them.
Yeah.
Were pretty decent.
Yes, and that's the thing.
Better than the actual actor.
They could have saved on their budget, had better work done by actual voice actors, and just kept people like Charlie Sheen and like I say, if you want to keep Hilary Duff at the time for kids, that might have worked, I guess.
Yeah,
but she wasn't even in it.
Disney. That would have. You could have.
They wanted to
gone off
basically
that.
pull off.
Yeah.
They basically wanted to pull off a Disney.
But yeah, no,
That's
they
literally
just
what they wanted.
They could have got rid of Wayne Brady. Didn't even have to be in it, which I don't know at the
I
time
couldn't
how
even-
big he was. Anyway,
I couldn't even tell it was Wayne Brady. Like,
yeah,
I didn't
I was
realize
trying to figure
at
out
all.
who the fuck it was. I'm like, that guy says, this sounds familiar. This sounds familiar, but I couldn't ever fucking figure it out. And now I know.
Also good for him because he changed his voice enough to where I didn't immediately recognize him.
Well, I think he's really good at voices. Honestly, I think he's kind of known for voice acting work.
So I said to Dex, I'll take all the risk, like flying you into the belly of the beast. Then I'll lead the troops into battle while, just doing whatever you do. And hey, thanks, baby. And then I'll do that thing with the buildings. In other words, it was all me, basically. Hey, give me some sugars.
Oh man, does anybody else want to add anything?
Give me a second to think.
You don't feel like you have enough for this, do you?
Oh no, I'll be honest with you.
He's been wanting to stop for like 20 minutes.
I feel like episode wise we'll be fine.
You wanted to stop this when it started.
The funny part is I was looking way more forward to this. I was hyped about this one.
I think this movie was just such a mess that we tried to start following it, and we realized it's all over.
You can't
the place.
follow it. There's no direction.
I think
There
the only-
isn't.
we don't have to add anything more, but I think the only thing that really gets me is how jarringly bad. At least in the beginning, I feel like towards the end it's smoothed out.
Yeah,
but how jarringly bad, like at least the animation.
Yeah, and Russell, you hit the nail on the head with you can't watch it because there is no direction, 100%, and it shows.
Yeah,
I think if the show had better direction, there should be no reason we couldn't go from start to finish easily, and it just you get lost in it.
This movie is basically a giant I don't fucking care. Granted, I'm pretty sure like at the beginning it wouldn't have been because with the whole loss and recovery and loss and it literally at the end was just like, you know what? We'll just throw what we can together and there, call it good.
I can't waste $60 million. I need an end result.
No
matter
Honestly,
the cost.
Hearing what this movie went through to get out,
yes,
I think if they just didn't have a big cast, I'd be giving it way more benefit of the doubt.
I'm glad they toughed it out.
We get into final thoughts here.
It is now time for final thoughts and ratings. And I want to go last. I really just want to go last. I'm going to go
I don't
with...
want to say anything yet. Fuck this.
No. Who here feels like they got a good grip on what they want to say?
Mike.
I got you.
Okay, go for it.
I got you covered, bro.
What?
This movie makes me feel like I'm stuck in the butt.
Yes.
I give it a 2.
Oh,
I'm done.
Wow.
It's better than Ooga Booga.
Man. Oh.
Wait, what'd you give Ooga Booga?
I gave Ooga Booga a 1.
Oh, did you?
Did I give Ooga Booga a 1?
He says it so confidently. I gave it a 1. And then a split second later, did I give it a 1?
You know, it's funny that you should rate it against that movie, because now that messes with my head on my rating. Because I thought I was going to be generous.
Well, I'm taking we have the Ooga Booga scale. It's the worst movie we've watched.
Yeah,
and I honestly don't think this is worse than Ooga Booga.
No.
Okay. All right. So fair enough. All right. You know, it doesn't matter either way. 2, great rating. Great rating. All right, Russell, what do you got?
Well,
now he doesn't know what to do because he's like, do I? I heard a 0.1 halfway through this, so I'm curious.
But you gotta rate it higher than Ooga Booga. It was better than Ooga Booga.
He gave Ooga Booga 2.5.
Oh no! You gotta give it a 3.
I did.
Oh my God.
The thing is, I can fix
this. I can fix this.
Since I saw the movie, I've had this rating in mind, and I just need to explain myself here.
Okay.
A little bit.
Oh wait,
The movie,
I'm explaining a good rating.
Again, I just need to let everybody know the movie is unique because of what it went through. It has a specific type of feeling to it. It's not a good feeling.
No.
But it's a feeling.
It's like getting a tattoo. It's painful, but you do it again because there's something to it.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't watch this movie again. Oh, you would.
I
can hear that.
recommend
You
this
would.
movie to anybody just because I feel like you need to see it.
Yeah.
You need to
I would
experience
give
it.
this movie a 3.
Wow.
A 3. And I think, mark my words, I might never got this later, if ever there is like a special episode that we do in the future where we revisit some of our older movies,
Right.
this has to be revisited.
Yeah, maybe we could explain it better.
We have to go back through this movie. What you got on this one?
Like, the movie's not. It's not bad,
It's terrible.
but it's not good. Would I watch again? No. But with Russell here, yeah, you should experience it. You should at least experience it. Would you make it more than 20 minutes through? I don't know. That's up to you to decide.
You just gotta power through. Just experience
disagree.
Get
But I'll
yourself
get
some
into it.
popcorn, grab your phone so you have something to do if you just feel like you can't handle it, just so you can continue watching. I don't know why I picked it. What the fuck is wrong with me? I regret picking this movie now that I picked it. But no, it wasn't horrible. It was semi-entertaining. This is sad to say.
Say it.
I would rather watch Ooga Booga.
Oh,
no.
No, I would.
No. Oh,
Not
man.
gonna
You know,
lie.
hey, at least there's boobies in
I was
this
just
movie.
saying
yeah.
Ooga Booga had
So-
boobies.
Yeah.
But no, it's like I don't even know what the fuck I rated Ooga Booga.
I'm pretty sure
But
you're on a 1.
Just say what's in your heart. In your heart
If
of
you
hearts.
do the right thing, whatever the fuck Raisin Girl said,
Yeah, oh my
you'll
God.
get raisins.
Yeah, when in doubt, do the right thing and you can't be wrong.
Destroy the movie.
I can't. Like,
10.
I can't even out of pity give it a good rating.
10.
I can't even out of pity. I was like, oh, you know, I
After
feel bad
all
for your
this,
bullshit. I
8
still
out
can't
of
get pity. I give it a
You know
0.5.
you know, I would say with how torn you are over the rating, you should give it an extra point for that.
Oh, man. I'm so excited about this because here's the thing, right? Okay, when I didn't want to watch this, I was hell-bent on never seeing this movie. I went into it saying to myself, there's no way this is getting over a 0.5 just for all the shitty effort everybody had to do to make this an actual production.
You're welcome.
So 0.5, great, whatever. And I got done watching it and I'm like, I'm glad you picked this because it is an unnerving, bizarre, like entrancing, like experience.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think anything else could ever capture what this movie captured ever again. Don't think it could happen. No joke. There is so much shitty history and problems and issues in money. This was a mess from start to finish, and there was no direction. It is just this crazy mixture of shit, and it's a kid show with adult jokes. I mean, this is like, it is wrong on so many levels.
There's like no kid jokes at all.
No, the 4-carat ring.
I do want to like it.
But like,
it's just...
no, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. This is not a good movie. But it has some bizarre entertainment value that I just cannot put my finger on, and that's it.
It's not likable, but I like it.
Right? Exactly. And I'll be honest with you,
you want to like it, but you hate it.
I will not go out of my way to watch this movie again.
No.
But if somebody wanted to watch this, I would sit down and watch it again. Like if somebody else wanted to watch it, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch this with you because I want to go on that experience with you.
I want to see your face as you watch this shit.
Yes, there's something just strange about this movie. And I think that's why it had some kind of weird like resurgence online for a while there, because you know the internet's great for weird, shitty things. And I'm glad this surfaced. And again, I'm glad you picked it. I'm not giving it a great rating.
Give Isaiah a gold star.
Yeah, he gets a gold star. I'll make sure you get a gold star.
It's
a golden
badge.
But you know, I'll be honest with you. I did not think I was going to give this any more than a 0.5, and I'm going to come in between. I'm going to come in between you and Mike, and I'm going to go 2.5.
Sounds sexy.
This is an experience of a movie. Plain and simple. And you're right. I recommend people watching it. I'm not going to say you're going to like it, but you experience so many weird things through this movie.
I also recommend marijuana. Yeah.
So there you have it. 2 from Mike, 3 from Russell, 0.5 from Isaiah, and 2.5 from me. Thank you so much for listening in, but you know what? You can do more than just listen. You can be part of the conversation. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Rewind Guys Pod. That's REWGUYSPOD, or email us at REWGUYSPOD@gmail.com and let us know what you think about this movie or any movie we've reviewed here on the podcast. We hope you join us next week. We're going to the 𝗥𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗪 and hitting the milk hard.
Ah, you have to redo it.
Why?
You said Copa. Yeah, you said 𝗥𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗪. You said the real thing.
Did I? No.
Yeah. You gotta say 𝗥𝗘𝗩𝗪.
Bullshit.
You said.
Did I seriously?
You said it properly. You said the real name.
Oh, man.
You said it.